Hi, and welcome to MKW Driving School YouTube channel. We're back again with another useful video for you. Now you passed the learner test. Now time to make you an advanced level and teach you how to drive on a motorway. So let's talk about motorway rules first. What color of the sign you should be looking for? Blue color. You studied in the theory test. So look on the blue signs, M word for the motorway signs. Before we go ahead, look your UK traffic signs for motorway, blue ones. When you leave the motorway, you will see the dual carriage sometime, green one. And then on the motorway, you see some sign like diversions, tourist places. That is what you're interested to go. And you might get some diversions on the road, yellow ones. So before we go, did you receive your full license? If your answer is yes, okay, let's go ahead. Otherwise, you're not allowed to drive. Now we got, if you're thinking to go behind the wheels alone, maybe not a good idea. Let's take someone with you for the first time. Spare eyes. Are you checking your car first before you go ahead? Good idea. So now, engine oil check. Make sure you have enough refrigerant oil. Windscreen washer reservoir check. Enough for windscreens. Light checks, front and back, brake lights, fog lights. Tire tread 1.6 millimeter minimum. Tire air pressure, all the tires, including spare tire. Are you driving electric? Fully charged? Good. Now ask yourself, are you fit to drive? Any medication make you drowsy? No? Okay, good. Let's come behind the wheels. Check your dashboard. Do you have sufficient fuel? If answer yes, good. If no, let's go to the petrol pump. Make sure you know what you're using, diesel or petrol, black or green. Otherwise, you're going to break down. They have to come to rescue you, traffic officer. But road will get a lot of chaos to work, save the environment. Don't do this. Now check your limit. What car you're driving? What is your limit on the motorway? Now if you're driving on B, 70 mile, B category, small cars. And if you are towing something, reduce 10 numbers, 60. And you should know how to save the skid if you skid your toe. Now let's talk about motorway planning. First of all, should know your postcode, where you're going. Then make sure, check the news, anything happening on the motorway which can make you delay for your journey. And whatever they say on the top, you have to do it. Smart motorways. Look where is the axis, don't use the line, and use where they're telling you to use 50s. If they tell you 50, 50 is your limit. You can't go on 70. Now check your meter. Are you driving on 50? Otherwise make sure reduce, you get ticket. In case they tell you all the crosses on the top, make sure do not go ahead. That means there is something happening in front, you can't do this. Very important. Now let's talk about how we join the motorway. Let's watch this clip. This is a CGI clip taken from the hazard perception of your theory test. Maybe you already have done this. Now look how this 8GV, LGV or heavy vehicle is joining you from the left. How people join you and how you should be joining others. You got the slip lane, joining from the left. See, he becomes your hazard and he's forced you to brake the car, and you have to now increase your following distance. Pick all the traffic sign on the left, triangle warnings, blue color signs. Keep your distance from the front cars, don't follow them too close. See, the arrow is telling you that 3 lanes is going to become 2 now. So you shift over to the right. This car expecting to go from left to right. Now start looking your right mirrors, right shoulder maybe a little bit glances, and then you can settle down. Now look on another clip. Same lorry is a real clip, not CGI. First of all, do not drive too close to the lorry. Keep your following distance. 2-second rule gap in the good weather, 4-second rule gap in rain, and 10-second rule gap in the ice. So keep your following distance. It's got 2 lanes only on the motorway, blue color sign, that means you're traveling on a motorway. Keep your distance from the front cars, do not drive too close, and drive back to the left after the overtake. Do not hook on the right hand lane, otherwise you maybe get the fine if you keep driving on the right without any reason. Now you got solid line on the left, which is called as a hard shoulder. Now you look on the top where you're going, so you can plan. So look on the slip lane, who is joining you, how this guy can come in front of you and force you. Now this is not CGI, it's a real clip. So that's why look on the left, always on the slips. Now let's talk about how you leave the motorway. Now look on the studs. Green color means that is a slip road for you to leave. Now look on this clip now. These chevrons tell you that you must leave 2 chevrons in front of you to make a nice following distance. Look on the top, they're saying do not drive more than 50. That's a rule of the driving of the speed. Look on the left if anybody joining you from the slip from the left. Now look on the top of the motorway signs. You're getting maybe closer to another slip road. The road is going to leave somewhere. Look on the car on the breakdown, is on the hard shoulder. It can move anytime and put you into danger, so careful, like it's giving signal to join you. So you have to be very careful when they join you. It becomes your hazard. It's forcing you to brake again. So you pay attention to every single thing on the motorway. Alertness is very important key to drive on the motorway. Now increase your distance. You can't see 2 chevrons now, so you have to hold back. Let your car go more back from the front one because he break your following distance with the lorry. Now you need to make a new following distance with this front car. Now you should see 2 chevrons. Roughly you can see now, so you bit okay. Now pay attention, everybody on your right and left. You're gonna see one car maybe coming from your right shoulder now. Now when he comes from the right shoulder, he's overtaking you. And when he gonna see that it's safe to overtake, then he may be gonna go back to the left. So now he start appearing now. So pay attention to people's signals. Lorry maybe can give signal to come on your right, and this car on the black can give signal to go your left. Now you only expect that he maybe just go in the middle lane, but he just cut both of the cars and go dangerously on the slip lane suddenly. So that means you can get the hazard anytime on the road. So that is why you pay attention to your front, left and back all around your car, but don't lose control. Now we're going to the real driving clips. Now when you join the motorway, sometimes they will give you the roundabouts, which is controlled by the traffic light. Some roundabouts are not controlled by the traffic light. Now look on the signboards on the top, so you can plan your journey. You can settle down in the lane discipline early as possible. If you're using the green color, that means you are on the dual carriages. But sometimes your motorway starts in a way that first you go to the dual carriage, and after that this dual carriage will lead you towards the motorway. But once you go to the dual carriage, you got the same slip lanes to leave it and to join. So you pay attention to the slip lanes. Then you pay attention to the road marking, so you can drive in the center of the line without making trouble to other drivers. Then you pay attention to the drivers coming from your left and right, like this car's on your left, they maybe can move. This is why we know what you're towing, so you know your limits. Can you see the people on the left? They're too close to each other. Now let's drive motorway in the daytime. Again, some real clips. Look on the top, they're telling you to drive on national limit. So this time you are okay to drive, which means there may be no hazard in front of us. Now look SOS on the left. I mean that's what you use on the breakdown, like calling them. Look for the hard shoulder on the left. Look on the studs, white color in the center between 2 lines. Look on the top. Make your journey according where you're going. Check how far you are 1 meter from your junction. Then you can plan to settle down yourself in the best lane for your driving. And keep paying attention to the people coming from your left and right, because you're driving in the center lane. That class you are overtaking the left cars. Now reason maybe you're driving the left cars because they are driving maybe 60, you are allowed to drive on 70, or other reason you are here because you want to go straight ahead, M1, and this line is taking you straight ahead, M1. So you are in the right lane, not on the left, because you want to go straight, and this is the one is taking you straight. So that's called your route plan. So look on the top guide tree again, that's called M1 going straight towards the the south side, Nottingham. Now this broken line on the left is called you're getting towards the slip. Now the lorry is slowing you down, then you look mirrors properly, then you do a signal for lane change, and then you can use that lane to overtake the lorry, but do not drive in his blind spot. So pass it without exceeding your limit. So this time is all okay because last time you see the 70 sign. And now look on the mirrors. If it's safe, you go back to the left. Did you notice the car just go from your right too fast? So have to be very careful. If somebody driving more than the limit of the road, they can be dangerous to everybody. You got the solid line on your left. Now you are not allowed to cross it, but now once becomes a broken with the arrow, now you're allowed to cross it if you have a chance to go on the slip lane for your exit. Otherwise, if you're late, do not attempt to take it. I repeat, if you ever get late to take it, do not attempt to do it. It's so dangerous. It's okay to go to the different side, going extra mile, 2 or 3, then leave the roundabouts. So you leave the motorway, use some roundabouts, and then come back again. And if you're using your Google Maps, Waze or TomTom driving, they will recalculate you and you can come back very easily. So do not attempt to take it. Now, UK driving rules. You drive on the motorway on the left lane in your limit unless it's all okay. If anytime somebody slow you down and you think it's safe to do a lane change, then you can do mirror signal and do a lane change. See, like this person is doing a proper signal for a lane change. Now you maybe just hold back a little bit. Now look on the signs, tell you that you got slip lane coming up to the left, people are joining you, people are leaving you. So you pay attention to every sign. Look why this white car is braking behind the lorry, because lorry got the lights to change lane maybe, or when people do the brakes they maybe do the mirror signal to change the line. Pay attention to every sign, like brown tourist places. If you going for your vacation, then you look for the tourist places to go there. Now look where you're going. Are you still going M1 towards South Nottingham? Then that's where you are in the right place. If you are not, this is the best time for you to think of changing lane. Now pay attention to the red car. Maybe he's thinking of doing a lane change anytime because you are overtaking him. So you have to make sure you look for the traffic coming from your right and left, or traffic on your left lane and the right lane. So like I show you the clip, now this black car on your right might give the signal and come in front of you. So that is your awareness and planning. Now what about the lorry on your front? What if the lorry give you signal on the right for a lane change? So what about the slip road? People are joining from you from the left, but you are not on the left lane, you are already in the middle. So you can use the middle, they will use the left lane. So don't get panic that they will come straight into you. They should not do it, but take care of looking properly. And you stay where you are and they use the left lane. They should do mirror signal to come. Now by driving on this one, you will see a lot of signs comes on the way, but they are all repeating. You get very limited signs on the motorway to not distract the drivers, and all these signs are actually repeating. They keep on repeating the same signs again and again, so you get so used to see the same sign in 1-2 mile. So for example, if you're driving on a motorway for 1 mile, 2 mile, you will see the same sign again and again so many times that you will remember. Now did you notice on the front the car just gave signal for a lane change because he got the lorry in the front. Lorry may be driving 60, which he should do. They limit sometime on the speed limit. They can't go more than 62 to overtake something, so they will stay left. And now you do mirror signal to overtake, but stay not in the blind area, just pass the lorry. That is what you normally do in the good time. So you are on the second lane from the left. There should be a reason for you to stay second lane from the left, whether the left lane is slow cars on 60 and you are driving on 70, or the left lane is becoming your slip lane soon and you don't want to be stay on the left and you want to be here because that is the lane which is taking you straight. Now see the lane discipline board on the left. So 3 lanes are going straight, M1. So that means you should take your lane discipline. So this is why looking on the motorway signs are so important. Now look on the top. Are you under your name? Are you want to go on the south? Then if you're under your name, you are in the right lane, like the good lane for you. You can keep it. Try not to change lane last minute near the junctions, near the slip area. Plan early, do a lane discipline early, settle down yourself in a good lane in a good time, but never do something last minute. Don't do anything dangerous for yourself and don't put others in danger. Drive safe. The clips are keep on changing, so they are just edited for you, so we can show you different slip roads and like that. So we just time lapse the clips so you can see different ones now. So see, in every clip almost you're getting in the same scenarios, that you just need to drive in the very center of your lane, keep an eye on the left traffic which is on your left, and then you can see the lorry, then you see the people are joining you. Now there is expectation the lorry might have to change the lane to let the other drivers on the left, but lorries are also skilled drivers. They try not to put other people in danger, but sometimes the scenario develops where they have to change lane because somebody joining you from the left slip. Now keep an eye on this car on the left. Maybe he come on the left lane, but same time he want to maybe change the lane. Now look on the blue color signs and you will be ready. What's the sign coming on the top now? So in this clip we got the same thing. You got rules coming of the driving, where you see how people are driving, pick up the road signs, pick up the road marking, keep your following distance. Now can you see that weather sometimes is changing now? There's no more daylight coming towards your way. Maybe you was driving in a different time before and your time of the day is changing, so you're getting more towards dark and dusk. Now it's not so bright anymore. Visibility can be reduced. It can be more cloudy. Maybe the rain coming to your way. So you must have to think about all the factors when you're driving on the motorway, so you can plan your journey according to you. When we get very cloudy, you should know where your wipers are. This is why you must check your tires and windscreen washers, water reservoirs. Your car is fit to drive, you fit to drive, and maybe after a long time of the journey you start maybe feeling a bit tired. So this is why we said in the start, try not to go alone if you're going for the first time. Take somebody with you as a spare eyes. Then make sure your car is fully roadworthy for all type of the weather conditions, so you don't break down on the road. This is the SOS phones on the left. If you break down, you need to use SOS. Now look on the top, what speed they're talking about. If you have any crosses on any line, then do not use it. So limit is 60. Now let's talk about when you go a bit dark and dusk, what you should do. So motorway driving dark and dusk. So first of all, some cars have auto lights. So if your car have this auto light function, try to use the auto light function. Then when it get darkness, you are not worried about switching on the light is on by itself. But remember, if your car do not have this function, you must switch on the lights now. If you notice, other cars are already start switching on their headlight. Now When we talk about the headlight, make sure you are using the dip beams headlight, not high beams, because high beam dazzle the other drivers coming from the other lane. So dip beams. If by mistake your high beams are on, please turn it off as soon you can. Then these days we also have the daylights. So sometimes you see the front lights of the other cars always keep on running, known as daylight. The reason behind it, so people can see each other easily and spot out the hazard early as possible. So what's important? Soon you know it's getting towards the darkness, because night will take over any time when there is no sunlight. So that's why you start getting ready in advance. Now, the brake light of the front drivers can be very bright when they do the brakes, and that also can dazzle you. So you also think of that way, what's going on at the back because of my brake. So try to off the gas where it's possible, and then see what people are using mirror signal routine for lane changes. Keep yourself in the best lane in a good time, so you don't have to do anything last minute. So now see that in last clip and this clip, the light gone very dark now, that it's become so dark. Now it's not a night driving yet. I will show you in other clips, so keep watching that how you drive in the rain and night driving as well. So stay tuned. So more you get darker, the more you get bright, so you have to be careful in that situation. But one thing is going in your advantage now. You can see the cat eyes studs more easily. So you got white color divide you into the lanes. You got the yellow one on the right corner shoulder, then you got red one on the left one, and then you got green one for the slip roads. So this is why they teach you the stud colors in the theory test. Maybe you can't see them in the daytime, but nighttime you can see them more easily because they start reflecting you. Now all these traffic signs, road traffic signs, UK traffic signs are designed in a way that when your headlight goes on it, it give you a bright picture, so you don't miss them in the night. So night driving, picking the road signs are more easy than the day or any other bad weathers. But your lights are dip, so that's why you can see the floor more easily, or the left and right signs you can see more easily. But anything comes on the top guide tree, that is where you have to look by yourself, so you can plan for your journey in a good time. Try to stay very center of the lane all the time. So use the white line on your left and right and try to be very center. If you use the right pillar of the blind spot with the windscreen, that white pillar just stick next to the white line on the right. That means you are not crossing the lines. Pay attention to the other people's lights, especially the indicators, so you know they are trying to come from the left in front of me, or they're trying to come from the right in front of me. And don't drive in middle of the road, so you should be driving on the left lane where it's possible you to drive on the left. If you're overtaking someone, you can use the middle lane or right lane, but when you think it's safe for you to drive, just drive on the left lane always. Solid line on your left is your hard shoulder. You should only cross this line if you break down and you have to stop for breakdown reason. But do not stop the car on this hard shoulder just to take a break. So remember, it's not for brake, only if you break down. If you need to look on the brake, then what you do, you should look for the services sign, and then you can take the slip road which take you towards the services, and that is where you take the brake. So solid line do not cross unless it's not emergency, but solid line on the slip road should not use it because you can take a alternative route. So look far ahead, pick any triangle warnings. Now see if anybody coming from your slip road, then pay attention to the left. you might have to change the lane, let them come in front of you. Don't try to increase the speed because you're not allowed to go more than 70. And if you're towing, 60. And if they tell you to do something in a smart motorways, variable road use of the speed, then do what they're telling you, 40, 50, because of the roadworks. If you go over, you will get points on your license, and if you do very dangerous, you maybe get revoked by the license. So your license can be revoked. That means 6 points can go on your license straight away. If you remember, the first 2 years of your passing of the driving test, you only have 6 points on your license. After the 2 years, they change the points from 6 to 12. And every time you do anything wrong or any mistake, and you get the points on your license, you get license points and the fine. It stay on your license for 3 years with the DVSA, and you have to tell your insurance for 5 years. So saving yourself from the points are very, very important. So try not to drive more than the speed limit of the road at ever. Now always pay attention to the front cars. As I said, if the left traffic are moving on 60 and you're using the right lane to overtake, you are using the right lane to overtake them. But if you're driving slow on the right lane, then you should be on the left lane, not on the right lane. As you can see now, you are overtaking the car on the left, so that means the car on the left may be driving 60. That is why you may be overtaking them on the 70 speed. That is the reason you are here. Hooking this line without any reason, you can get points on your license and police can take you as a fine as well. So careful, right is only for overtake, so go back. Now next chapter, driving on a motorway at the night time. That is totally different style of the driving. Now of course when you come from the darkness side, then you go into night driving, but you got different kind of night driving. The last one you was watching is more like evening time. You still can see the blue sky, but the lights are on. But this kind of darkness comes anytime soon, mid of the night. Not all the time on a motorway you will see the street lights or traffic lights like that. It can come, motorway can be without the street lights or lamppost, no lights. They may come maybe near the slip area, like now we are taking the slip on the left or going from the bend, and they're advising you to use the 40 limit on the bend. You don't use the hash line without any reason. When you got this lamppost, you still can see what's going on the road. But when there is no lamppost and you're driving on the night time, only thing you can see what you can see by your headlight. Then you must keep your distance from the car what you can use. So do not drive too close to someone on your front. Be ready, what if they brake? Are you ready to brake behind them? Are your following distance are safe following distance? If not, increase your distance and just drive what you can see to be clear by your headlight. So don't try to go faster. Approaching roundabout. When you go to the roundabout, like when you leave the motorway, you get towards the roundabout where you can make a U-turn and go back if you came here by mistake. And if that's your journey, don't forget you must need to reduce the speed. You may be left the motorway already and you may be still driving so fast. So use your speed early as possible. So when you drive on the night time, see, like now sometimes you get too much rush. When you get too much rush on the motorway or busy time on the motorway, you will see a lot of cars, and that means you will see a lot of lights on the road. Now you don't have any lampposts, street lights, but you got companions. You got more people on the motorway. Now you can use their headlights as a reference point, and then you can see the road because you can see their headlights showing you what's in front of them. But when you drive alone on a motorway, then you are only going to rely on your headlights, and there's no lampposts, no street lights. But one thing, it will be very good that your headlights show you the struts, cat eyes. Then you can see the road signs more bright, like a reflectors, so you can see them reflecting. Then you have to be careful about the traffic signals or indicators they're giving to you for the lane changes. Make sure you look who's coming from your left from slip road. Green color studs for the slip road. And when the line splits and you got solid line, that means do not try to cross the solid line. Then you will see sign for the cameras. Make sure you do not drive fast. Does not matter what time of the day you're driving. Are you driving in the daytime? You're driving in the night time? You're driving alone? There's no one in front and back of you. You still have to drive on the speed limit of the road. Speed limits are designed for your safety, so try to keep yourself safe on the motorway. This is why they call the UK motorways are one of the safest motorways, just because everybody try to follow the rules and stay in the driving limits. With the road signs, the road marking is always present to help you out to know your journey, so you can plan well ahead. You got red color studs on your left that represent the end of the lane on your left, white on your right. If you remember in the theory test, they ask you these kind of a question that if you got a bad weather but you can see the red studs on the left, then which lane you are in. So that's called you are in the left lane because you got red color on your left. And if you see white on your right and also you see the white on your left, that means you're traveling in the middle of the lane. Then you can see the yellow on the right and white on your left, then you may be traveling the last lane on the right. Now make sure do not drive too close to the front cars, especially the night time. But people are slowing down because you're changing your speed from 70 to 50, so that's why they're slowing down, and maybe you are still traveling on 70, and that's making you getting too close to someone. Like now in this video, this is class as maybe driving closely, so not keeping a good following distance. Now keeping that much close, you're gonna reduce your vision as well from the front, and see the car is struggling, whirling in the lane. That means is the road work going on. You have to be careful about the road work. You need to be careful about the diversions. You need to be careful about the cones. So very careful. That is very close to the front cars. That is not safe to do it. So now finally decided for the lane change, should have done it early. Now look on the road signs again on the top. Look on the lane marking, see where you need to go. Do proper mirror signal when you do lane change. Now back to the speeds. Now let's try motorway in the rain. One of the clip for you to watch for the hazard perception. Now keep an eye on this bike. Rain day, CGI clip, computer generated. Watch your hazard and pay attention in advance what this hazard can do for you. Now look on the roadwork sign, lane dead on the left, right lane active. So what you expect from the biker and what this car have to because of the bike. and what you're expecting. So it's more about awareness and planning in a good time. Now I'm going to show you the real clips driving in rain now. This is still CGI clip. Just keep your following distance 4-second gap in the rain and be ready for another problems. Okay, getting towards the real clips now. First, whenever you drive in the rain, wipers on. When the wipers on, lights on. So you can see them, they can see you. Now depend on the rain, you need to use your wiper accordingly. Low speed, high speed, or intervals. Now in the road, when the roads are wet, you must keep your 4-second rule gap with the front cars. Do not drive too close, because when you drive too close to the front cars, you will get the splashes from the tires on your screen, and that give you very blurry vision and reduce your visibility, which can be so dangerous for you. So keep your distance more, double the distance in the rain. The car can get skid if you do the last minute brake in the rain, depending what type of the vehicle you are driving. If you remember, in the start of this video I show you sometime you may be towing the vehicle, and if you do last minute brakes like that in the rain, because you're driving too close to the front cars and you have to do the last minute brake, you can skid. Then you should know how to control the skid. If you forget, I can tell you, if the back of your car is skidding on the right, you turn the wheels into the skid, I mean on the right. If the back skid to the left, you turn the wheel to the left. But before you turn the wheel, first ease off the gas pedal. Do not touch the brake harder or anything. Let the car slow down by itself and do a gentle steer towards the skid until you get straight again. So that is how you can control the skid. But don't let yourself fall down in a situation where you have to control it. Drive with a nice gap from the front. Get more awareness and planning. Keep your vision up and keep looking for the hazards or indicators of the sidecars. Now keep your following distance more in the rain. If somebody take a lane changes, then you start a new following distance from the new car. Watch the people indicators. You maybe don't easily see the road sign and road markings in the rain, and your eyes can get very tired. You maybe have the blurry vision in your car. So you should know how to use the demister, front and back, like front and rear. And maybe you can use the air cone to make it demist very quickly, because if you get steam in the front of your screen suddenly, then you can't see anything happening on the front. That can be very dangerous. So you have to be very careful in that situation, that you must be ready to know your buttons and press them. This is why you should not be driving any car unless you don't know where the controls of this car, especially when you drive and pick up any rent car. So make sure you know all the buttons. You don't know what time you need it. Look on your weather. Go into the planning of your journey as well, that you know this is going to be a rain day and you should be planned and leave plenty of the time for your journey. Driving too close to the other cars, as I said, is splash. But when you drive behind the lorries, truck, they splash more. So keep your following distance enough and do not drive in the blind spots. Your side windows and your side mirrors also get too much blurry, and then they are not always fitted manufacturer with a heated one. So you maybe have to careful with your right left. But if people are using the lights, you can maybe see them in the lights. So if you look on the front car, right one got the lights on, you can see the right one more better than the one on the front, because the front car don't have any lights on. So it rains on, lights on, so wiper on, lights on. So you can't see the front car much in visibility, but you can see the other one because of their light more better. So this is one of the real example that if people don't use the light on the rain day, you can miss the information on the road very easily. So by traveling on the lane, make sure you got the road signs on the left, you got tourist sign on the left, you got your blue sign on the top. They're telling you which journey you are taking. You try to read them early as possible. Then you know which line I should be in, what is my speed limit, which next junction I'm coming up, what's the number of the junction, If I'm getting towards the slip lane, then you get the warning of 1 mile, then you got the warning for half the mile, then you look for the counter. When you look for the counter, then you look for 1, 2, 3, that what time you should leave your counter. So if you're overtaking the lorry, try to overtake quickly you can, but without breaking the rule of the speed, because you don't want any splashes from his tires to your screen. You don't want to drive in his blind spot, and you want him to see you as much you can. So when they give you the warning sign on the top, you get sometimes 2-3 signs on a different time, so you know that is 1 mile, then half the mile, then quarter. Then you got the counter which say 3, 2, 1, and that is where you should be before in hand in your left lane in advance. But try not to cut in, like don't do mirror signal and go in front of someone suddenly. So pass them, see them in the mirrors properly, leave your following distance from that person, and then do proper mirror signal to go back. Okay, so now these are the clips now. So we trying to do different clips in different scenarios on the motorway, so you get the little idea how it looks in the driving. Now we're gonna go to the next one. So let's say rain stop. When you get rain stop, you get the bright sun sometimes. So let's drive the motorway in the sunny now. So make sure if you get dazzled down and you very like this with the sun, make sure you got the right glasses for you to drive in the sun. So it can be very sunny road for you sometime. After the rain, suns are more bright. Sun can dazzle you as well, so you know how to use the windscreen sunshade, and that way you can know how to turn it on, like drop it down, drop it back. And now make sure, because of this bright sun very straight in front of your eyes, you might can miss the information. Maybe because of that sun you can't see the person giving signal indicator left or right for the lane change. So sun can be the hazard. In the same way, when you see somebody using the high beams, full beams, and they can dazzle you. So say like now this lorry is giving the signal for change lane. So imagine if the sun is just in front of you, you might maybe miss his signal. Okay, now roadworks. So you see the cones on your left, they got the road work going on, then you know that okay, nobody should be coming from my left now, and now I don't have a hard shoulder here, but yes, in case I break down, I might have to cut the cone once and go there to for the safety of myself or others. Now sometime after the rain, the floor can be give you double shade, like reflecting. Just the floor tarmac of the motorway maybe reflect too much, and then you maybe miss the road sign, maybe miss the road markings, anything. So again, it count as a good weather, so you keep your 2-second rule gap when you drive with the sun, but little bit extra considerations like picking up the speed limit on the left. Majority of the time when you got this road work, your speed is not 70, but they will tell you what is the safe speed for you to drive. But remember, rule apply. Some people think that this is a temporary advised speed because of the road work. No, it's not. It is the rule. What the road work people tell you to drive, you drive there. Again, as I said, if you don't do it, you maybe get your fine ticket. Now see on the front what the other car is doing. If are they using any brake light, because indicator, because they're slowing down last minute in the middle of the road is too slow, and that's why you think of okay, I'm getting too close to him, I better change my lane. Because if they stop in the middle of the road or too hard brake something, then it can be too dangerous. Now try to stay in that line until it's safe, and when thing is not safe, you should go back to your normal line. So now when we was talking about the road work, now when we get the road work, sometimes you also see yourself getting in the situation where they have to divert you. So again, route planning. So if you're using a sat nav, Google Map, Waze, TomTom, then you have to maybe recalculate, and then you look for diversion signs. So diversion signs comes in the yellow colors more. So that's where you know, okay, I got road work, they're asking me for a divert. It might increase your journey. So now the next chapter we are going in now, where I'm going to show you something, is about motorway, roadworks, and you see diversions. So now how to drive on a motorway when you got roadworks and diversion. Majority of the time they work at the night time, because that is one of the easy way for them to close the lanes, close the road, close the motorways, and then divert the traffic. So nighttime journeys, you feel or see the diversions are more. But if they have to work for anything important in the daytime, they still can divert you in the daytimes. But night times you expect them more. So once again, you're in the nighttime driving, so you got no lamppost lights, so you only got car. But as I said, this time you have a lot of cars, so you can see because of their lights what's going on in front of you. But imagine if you are traveling on a motorway at the night time with no street lights or no lamppost and there is no light, then make sure you don't drive. Okay, now yellow signs, diversions. So let's say you came to diversions. These are the signs tell you got this 40 speed limit, you got cameras, you have to keep left because people are on your right. You see a lot of cones, and they will tell you that we can recover you if you break down in the working area, and they will say you can leave on that junction, and if people want to go there, they're guiding you. So make sure these signs are still very important for you to watch when you see the road work and diversions. They are not classed as a motorway, but because motorway, yes, blue color, but is important because of the road work. Some motorways pass the city, leads from start of the city, go out of the city, or come from the motorway into the city, or just passing city. So you will still see the blue color sign. So that means that motorway, it doesn't look like the one we did it before in the video, like three lane motorways, but is regulated by the motorway authority. That's why you see the blue sign. But don't start assume that you got 70 speed here because of the blue sign. So you do it what they're telling you to do it. So you got this diversion, like you got in contraflow. Sometimes they will say you to please ignore the old lines, and they maybe try to rub the old lines and give you the new painted lines, or they maybe use the studs for you. Then they have to use the new studs of the cat eyes. So a lot of extra things to watch when they are road work. Like now you got slip lane, people are joining you from the left, they don't have any left lane available for them to drive, so they're immediately coming in front of you because they got cones in front of them, and you have to be very careful with your speed. But still you are blue color signboard, so that means you're still on the motorway M, but not 3-lane motorway. So choice of the speed sometimes are different, and if you got the road works, then they got different. Now sometimes you will see the signs say that if you passing the road work situation, they give you the free recovery, but that free recovery is just in the area of the road work. They just take your car away from the area to the safe location, but after that you should have your own recovery. So that's what they say, recovery, free recovery. And when you leave the motorway, you normally end up to the side roads, and then you go down to the area where you see the roundabouts. That's where you go with the new journey, starting the new motorway, starting the new ring roads, and you got green color boards, normally the dual carriage. Now imagine you are very tired on the motorway, so you should take break and go to the services. So if you feel sleepy and tired, do not drive, take a break. Look for the services sign, take your slip road to go towards the services, and you find your services almost every time, like 10 miles, 15 miles, 20 miles, and you will see the signboard which they will tell you the next service is 14 miles, 15 miles, and they get petrol over there. You go hotel, eating places, and everything. They will guide you, like toilets, breaks, and everything. So make sure when is your next service, so you know you can plan. So you know you need to take a fuel, you have enough journey. And if you think you're feeling drowsy and sleepy, keep the window down, keep the fresh air coming in, talk to your next person in the car, and try to keep yourself engaged in your driving back when you drive. But otherwise, must take a break. If you're tired, do not drive. Now the last one, what if you break down on the motorway? First of all, you should ring your recovery people, but before that, using your phone, use SOS and tell them your location from the lamppost, like 4118B, so they know where you are, they can see you in the cameras, and they will send you a location. That's it. Thank you for watching.